The future of eBay dropshipping, that's what we're going to be talking about in this video. If you're watching this live or you're watching this shortly after it's recorded and you stay up to date on eBay dropshipping news, then you probably heard that things are definitely changing on eBay, specifically with dropshipping. So we're going to be talking about those changes and how to adapt for them going into the future. My name is Paul J. Lipsky. I talk about eBay dropshipping. I have several successful eBay dropshipping businesses and Amazon dropshipping business. I talk about that here on YouTube and have courses about eBay and Amazon dropshipping as well. I've been able to manage all of that, but what I found is that if I want to really grow one area of one of my businesses, like let's say one of my dropshipping businesses, I really have to go all in with that business, almost at the expense of the other ones. Not really, but like to a small degree, if I really want to see growth in that area. So recently I released my Amazon course, had intense focus on that when I was making that. But before that, and certainly after that, I've been very focused on growing my eBay dropshipping businesses because there have been so many changes. We've noticed that a lot of our listings aren't ranking as high as they used to in eBay's search results. So something has definitely changed with eBay's search algorithm. And this is always a mystery for eBay. eBay's never really telling us what it is that they're doing or why they're doing it. They don't even give us a heads up a lot of times. So I kind of try to tune all of that out and just focus on solutions. What can we do to fix it? What can we do to get our listings back up in the search results? So I've been running some tests for a few months. I've shown some of those on this YouTube channel before. When I've done my income reports, I've shown a second account that I've been working on, doing these tests, trying different methods. I have found that these are working. Even with eBay's new algorithm, I've had some students who are willing to be guinea pigs with me do it as well after I tested it, and it's working for them as well. I have good friends who are successful with dropshipping using these methods as well, and it's working for them. So I think it is pretty clear and obvious that there have been changes and that these are new strategies that we need to use going forward. So what does this mean? Well, first of all, I want you to know that I've put a lot of time into doing this research, into trying these different methods. I never like to rush into anything. You might hear people on YouTube or other people say, they've been trying something for 2 weeks and it's working really well for them. So that means that's the way to do it. And that's the way you should do it. I would be very careful listening to those people. It's fine if people want to document what they're doing and share what they're doing. But to say that that is the definitive answer after only 2 weeks, I'd be very skeptical about that and very cautious, especially when you see those same people trying one thing for 2 weeks and then trying something else for 2 weeks and trying something else for 2 weeks without ever committing full in for one thing. You really have to try this over a span of months, anything with eBay dropshipping, to really make sure that it's working well. And that's what we've been able to do. So what does this mean moving forward? What it means is for my own store, my own eBay dropshipping store, I'm going to be going all in with these new tactics and strategies. And it's also what I'm going to be adding or updating to the courses that I made, the eBay dropshipping course. I'm going to be updating it all with these new strategies and tactics for my students so that they can learn from it as well. So I do want to show you some things. I get this question asked a lot. Let me just pull this up real quick, because I've updated the course before, and every time I do it, I always get this same question. So I kind of wanted to answer it for you guys real quick. So let me show you what I mean. So I'll just share this real quick. So what I do when I update my course is down here, you can see the whole course curriculum. If you come to dropshippingtitans.com, see that this is the whole course curriculum. And what I do when I update the course is, let's say something changed with how to set up your business policies. So normally once you sign up for the course, you can click right here and watch the video on business policies. If something changes, I just replace the video in here with the new one. So people always ask me, where can I find the new videos? Where can I find them? They're in there. They're right inside the whole course, exactly where they're supposed to be. So what I'll do is when I update the course, I'll send out an email to my students and let you guys know which videos are updated and which ones you should go back and watch again to see the changes. I like to keep this very streamlined and succinct right here. Another thing is if you come here or click on the first link underneath this video to come here, you'll notice that there are 10 modules essentially. And if you watch some of my older videos, you'll see that there are actually, I think, as many as 16 modules when I first created the course. There's not less content here. It's the same amount of content, but what I've done is I've made it a streamlined learning experience for you. So you don't have to go through 16 modules of information before you get started. This is the same information, the same amount of information, of course, is updated, but you can get through it faster so that you can start your eBay dropshipping store faster. And I reorganized everything so that it's in a place that makes more sense. So that's another question I get is, where's the rest of the modules? You're not getting gypped out, they're all there. And the other thing is, yes, as normal, these updates will be included for free for anyone who's a current student. I've updated the course twice before, once last summer, just because things on eBay changed then. I learned new strategies and tactics. I wanted those in the course as well. At the end of last year, I looked at the course and the content was there. The content was fine, but I learned a lot since when I first released the course about making videos and all of that. So I just wanted the course to look nicer, better quality. So I actually redid most of the course and just kind of digitally enhanced it, so to speak, just to make it look nicer. But all of that was included for free. That's the point I'm trying to make. I didn't charge anyone extra who was already a member of the course. And that's the same thing here. That's been my commitment from the beginning, always trying to give my students the advantage, always trying to keep them updated. A lot of other courses, you join it and you get what you get when you sign up, and that's it. Either the course is never updated or things aren't, or they charge extra for updates, but I don't feel comfortable doing that. Besides, I want you guys to do well. So that's why I include those there as well. All right, so the other thing I want to talk about is what I'm going to be doing on YouTube coming up. So I got some great things planned for YouTube. I'm going to be, I forgot to say one thing about the course. I will be adding a section all about how to do stealth accounts, because like I mentioned before, I am running some stealth accounts just to do some experimentation. People had asked me about stealth accounts in the past. Now, what are those? If you're not familiar with stealth accounts, stealth account is a completely isolated account. So your eBay account is in your name. It probably has your address, your phone number on it, it's connected to your PayPal. So if you create another account on eBay, which is allowed, it's going to be linked up to your main account. And in the rare event that something happens to your account, one of your accounts, like let's say you get suspended, then usually what happens, usually, not always, is that all your accounts get suspended. So if that happens, even if you try to start a new account, you won't be able to. But with a stealth account, you can, because with a stealth account, it's not in your name. It's not your email, it's not your phone number, it's not your address. It's not the same IP address. Everything is completely different. So eBay doesn't know it's you. Usually this is done through using a family member's name or a spouse's name and just a different address. There are some other complicated things in there, and that's a way for people to get back onto eBay. Some people aren't banned from eBay, but they start one anyway, just in case, because they're afraid they might get banned. Stealth accounts are definitely not something that you need for most people. Most people do not need them, but I got questions about them in the past. I was never able to answer them because I had never made one, because I'd never been suspended or banned on eBay. So I couldn't really answer those questions. But because I've been running these tests and I created these stealth accounts specifically just to run the tests, I've learned how to do it. So I figured I would share how to do it, and I'll create a lesson inside the course about that. Probably we'll be talking about it on YouTube later as well, but I'll make it for the course first. And then I'll probably be making another bonus course, a mini course, all about a different supplier that I use that's really not easy to use, but there's a lot of potential there with that supplier, which I'll probably be talking about in a couple more minutes right here. So on YouTube, what I'm going to be doing going forward is I'll be talking about these new strategies and tactics after I get them up inside the course and get them running. I will be talking about it later, probably a couple months down the road. In the meantime, I'm going to be interviewing a ton of a ton of drop shippers. And I want to get more people on the channel talking about their experiences, talking about how well they're doing, what's working for them, what they have found doesn't work for them. So there's going to be a lot of videos like that. If you don't want to miss those, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And we're almost at 30,000 subscribers. So thank you everyone who has subscribed. And the other big news, huge news, is that on March 3rd, 2019, so sorry if you're watching this after then, it's going to be too late then, but on March 3rd, 2019, in New York City, we're holding a big Dropshipping Titans Meetup. It's for anyone interested in eBay or Amazon dropshipping. You don't have to be one of my students. You don't have to pay anything. It's completely free. It's here in New York City. That's the second link in the description of this video. Click on that. You'll get the details, when it is. Oh, it's March 3rd at 1 p.m. and where it is. Like I said, completely free. I ask that you register because I need to know how many people are showing up, and space is limited. It's going to be huge because there's going to be not only myself there, there's going to be other drop shippers and others outside of the type of drop shipping I do. So we're going to have Noah there from, he has a YouTube channel and he's talking about wholesale. We have Rico, who's selling on Amazon, doing private label drop shipping. We have Tyler, who's really an expert at Amazon drop shipping. So we're all going to be there. We're going to tell you guys, show you guys what we're doing, what we've been up to. You can ask any questions. We're all open books. Ask us anything. You can grab selfies if you want. There's going to be some prizes. We're going to be giving away some stuff completely free, like I said. And yeah, so it's going to be a great, great event. And I hope a lot of you can make it out to that. So that's kind of my spiel for right now, but I'm still here to answer any questions you guys have about eBay or Amazon dropshipping. So I'm going to hop into the chat right now. We have Rochelle saying that they wish they could be there. I really wish you could be there too. I really wish a lot of you were able to make it to the meetup. The first one we had, this will be the second one. The first one we had in New York City was a huge success. I think we had like 30 people or so, and it was a kind of last minute, so a lot of people couldn't make it, understandably, and but even that had 30 people there, which is pretty awesome. This one's going to be even bigger. Like I said, not only myself there, but a lot of other speakers. So if you're like, oh, what kind of drop shipping do I want to do, or I want to meet these people before I start trying it myself, this is a great opportunity for you to do that if you're going to be in the New York City area around then. Let's see. Let's see who else is here. We have Josh here. Josh is the first one in this chat. So thank you, Josh. And I apologize to everyone who's watching this live because we did have some technical difficulties, but everything's up and running now. So I appreciate your patience. We have Jeremiah here. Thanks for coming by, Jeremiah. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to look for some good questions in here. We have Martin here. What's up, Martin? Martin, I'll be on Martin from Thrift Store Gold is his YouTube channel. I'll be on his channel this Friday. We have Margarita. Margarita just joined my Amazon course. She's saying, I'm so pleased with your Amazon videos. So thanks so much for that endorsement. I really appreciate it. Dropship Tyler here in the house, $2.99 super chat. He's saying, who's going to be at the New York Dropshipping Meetup? He's going to be there as well. Normally I could put the comments on the screen, but like I said, some technical difficulties. Josh is going to drive 5 hours to get there. That's going to be awesome, man. Can't wait to meet you. Let's see. Okay, great question from B Parker. When it comes to drop shipping, and he didn't specify if he meant eBay or Amazon drop shipping, but I'll answer for both. Wouldn't I need capital to get this started to pay for the products when customers buy? So the type of drop shipping that I do is called retail arbitrage drop shipping. So we are drop shipping from other online retailers like Walmart.com onto eBay or onto Amazon. Now, with eBay, when you first start selling on their platform, as of right now, eBay still uses PayPal, and you're going to be put in something called PayPal jail. They're going to hold your funds for about so for the first 3 months, you're going to be in PayPal jail. So they hold your funds until the item has a tracking number uploaded for it and it's been marked as delivered. So you do need money to pay for the item and ship it to your customer in the meantime. So if you have a credit card, you can use that and then pay yourself back once PayPal releases your funds. With Amazon, they hold your money for 2 weeks. For most people, they always do that. So yes, you will need credit cards or capital to get going with that in order to purchase the goods. But one thing I will say is that compared to most businesses, this is a really low cost of entry. Most businesses require a ton of money to get started. And the fact that you can get started with so little, especially with eBay dropshipping and with even quite frankly with Amazon dropshipping, I would say that eBay requires a bit less capital than Amazon, but Amazon, compared to most businesses, requires such little capital to get started. It's a really rare opportunity, I would say. It's one of the reasons I love it so much, and one of the reasons it was so accessible to me, because I didn't have a lot of capital to start up when I first started doing eBay dropshipping. And I know a lot of you don't as well. Okay, we have Harry saying, this can wait. I don't understand your question, Harry. I've been unable to connect with Home Depot. I'm not sure what the question is. I will say that Home Depot has made some changes to their website. So if you're paying with gift cards, which is common for a lot of drop shippers, you can only purchase 2 items at a time now. So that's something that they updated over the weekend. They updated it a while ago, but then it like started working again, but it seems like they patched up all the holes there. No, Mr. Medina says, will lunch be served? Remember, it is a free event, but no, I don't think lunch will be served. It's from 1 to 5, but there will be snacks. There'll definitely be at least snacks there. Let's see. We have Rakin Profit in the house from rakinprofit.com. So welcome, Steve. It's good to have you here. Dropping a super chat and saying he's hoping that he can make it to the event. We invited him, so we really hope Steve can make it. Let's see. Ben is from New York City, so has to be there. All right. Okay, great question from Travis. When you start, I gotta stop slouching. When you start dropshipping, do you set up a personal email and PayPal account for your eBay store? Because I already have one. Or do you set up a separate one and use that for your store? So you can use your personal email. Personally, I recommend that you set up a new email specifically for dropshipping. Keep that separate. Keeps you really organized. There's really not all emails basically on Gmail are personal for the most part. So you just create any old email account on Gmail, use that, just keep everything separate. With PayPal, you're technically only allowed to have 2 PayPal accounts. One is your personal, and second is a business. So if you have a personal PayPal, I suggest starting a business one specifically for eBay dropshipping. Again, you want to keep things separate, especially if you have a legal entity like an LLC. You need to keep those things separate. But even if you don't, for counting purposes, to make sure you're actually making a profit, yeah, I would definitely keep as much separate as you can. Okay. Um, all right. So Big Bill says yes, has a question about changing the zip codes on websites like Home Depot and Lowe's and how that sometimes messes up the pricing. So there's not a ton you can do for Home Depot for that. I used to be able to change the zip code and order from a different zip code to get a better price, but that doesn't work anymore. The price of the item, if it changes depending on the zip code, then it's based on where it's shipping to. So it doesn't matter what store you're shopping in. Let me back up for a second because a lot of you might not know what I'm talking about. So websites like Home Depot and Lowe's, and I'm sure there's a lot of others, do something called dynamic pricing. It's when the price changes depending on what zip code you are in. I'm not sure why some items are or some zip codes are more expensive or cheaper than others. I tried to find patterns, like looking at poorer parts of the country and seeing if things were cheaper there, or if things were more expensive in richer parts of the country, and it just nothing really made sense. So I'm not sure where they're getting this information from, or why they're picking these certain things, or these zip codes, but it's what they do. So with Home Depot, what you used to be able to do was at the top of the page, you would enter in your zip code, right? So I'd be shopping here in New York, but I could change it to like Denver, Colorado. And if some items were cheaper in the Denver zip code, then I could still order them and get them for the cheaper price. That doesn't work anymore because now the price of the item, if it changes according to the zip code, it all depends on where the item is shipping to. So with Home Depot, that game ended a long time ago. With Lowe's, it still works. You can still do that, but with Lowe's, there's a lot of complicated things about Lowe's. It's a very difficult supplier to work with. Does it work? Absolutely. Someone else asked me a question about this. Lowe's absolutely does work, but it is really difficult. There's a lot of really strange quirks with it. They just don't really have their act together in a lot of regards. So one of the things about Home Depot is that when you're ordering on HomeDepot.com, you are ordering from corporate Home Depot. When you're ordering from Lowe's, you're ordering from an individual store. So when an item ships out from Home Depot, they're shipping it out from one of their major warehouses. When you order from Lowe's, they ship out from a single store. It's not always the one you order from. It might be another one, but usually they ship it out right from the store. And some of these stores are terrible. They don't even ship out the items, or they ship them out and don't package them very well. There's a lot of problems with Lowe's website where you'll get these errors all the time. You go to check out, you get an error, and you can't process your order. Or you'll be chugging along and all of a sudden the whole website will look completely different and you're not able to order more than one item at once. There's a lot of problems with it. It definitely does work. There's definitely a lot of potential there if you can get through those. But just a warning, it's really not easy to work with. So Lingasa says, I sold 2 items today on eBay. I went to fulfill them on Amazon. It says I can only buy one. Any solution? Well, you should definitely order at least one for one of your customers and ship it to them. Then I would delete that item from your store. For the other item, what I would do is contact a friend, maybe another drop shipper if you're in a mastermind. Ask them to order it for you. Say you would pay them back. You just want to get that item to that customer if possible. Or try to find it on another website. Maybe Walmart has it. And at least that way you can get the item to the customer. Then you can delete that item from your store and never have to worry about that again. Okay. So Swiggle is here. Swiggle is an app or website that does price adjustments for you. If you order an item from Walmart and the price of the item goes down, Swiggle will let you know. Full disclosure, I've never used it, but they always show up here in the live chat. So I do want to give the shout out to them. Someone else try it and let me know what you think. Something I should definitely be trying soon. It's called Swiggle. But the question from Swiggle is, does it make sense to set up several Walmart accounts and spread purchases across those accounts? I have heard of people doing that. I've never had a need to. I've always used the same account. Well, there is a reason people do it. And the reason people do is because some items, especially during some times of the year, Walmart will start canceling those items if you order too many of them, especially with large electronics. But what I found is that the majority of those items that they cancel, they're going to cancel even if you have a second account. So like these large electronics, it doesn't matter whether I order 1 or 5, they're going to cancel all of them during the like holiday season because they know I'm a reseller, and certain items they just don't allow resellers to sell, especially during certain times of the year. So some people do it. I haven't really found a great need to make multiple Walmart accounts specifically for buying. Let's see. Okay. So I had another question from someone this week, and they asked me if I made a video about virtual assistants, hiring and training virtual assistants. And the question was, if these virtual assistants are running your entire business for you, then what's to stop them from just making their own business, running their own business? And I've answered this before, but I gave it more thought. And what I realized, what I want to compare this to is basically any other business. Imagine you have a small business. I don't know, like you just have a small business, and you like a dentist's office maybe, and you have a dentist who's working there. It's just you own the business, but you have a dentist there. You have another dentist working there as well. That dentist just shows up, does their job, and then leaves. They know how to be a dentist. They know that, and they're there every day. They see the business, but they don't know how to run a business. There's a big difference there. And I think that's really the difference. Or they know how to run it, but they just don't want to. They just want to show up in this case. So I think that's really the distinction. Just because you can show up and do your job doesn't mean you know how to run the whole business, or even that you're interested in learning how to do that. So I think that's the reason why a lot of people in general, not just virtual assistants, but employees in general, don't start their own businesses, even though they see all the ins and outs of the business and theoretically could do it if they wanted to. Okay, so another question from the week. So from Saleh Off said, I tried to drop ship from Costco, but they shut down my account. They said you can only ship to 5 addresses a month. Do you have an idea how to solve this problem? So with Costco, there's really nothing you can do. And that's the rule. And that's why we don't drop ship from Costco. Bob Time asked me if I bulk list. I do not bulk list. Bulk list is when you take like 10 different items or 30 items and you list them all up at once, pretty much in a matter of seconds using software. I don't do that. I like to look at each item individually, check it, make sure it's a good item to sell, make sure it has a good title before I list it up. So I'm not a fan of bulk listing myself. So I had a great comment this week from someone named Copy Tomorrow. Copy Tomorrow apparently found, I made a YouTube video last year about why customers most of the time don't care when their item comes in a box from Walmart or Home Depot, even though they ordered it on eBay or Amazon. So in this case, Tamara ordered something from eBay and it came in an Amazon Prime box. And she was like, what the heck's going on? So she started searching for it online, came across my video, and she says, so that's why my eBay order came in an Amazon Prime box. I had no clue, but I really wasn't concerned about it because all I cared about was that I got the item I purchased. So thought that was pretty funny. Thought I would share that one. Let's see any more questions here in the live. Yes, the event is free. Sahil's asking if the event is free. It is completely free to come to the event. So Lewis saying the new, okay, so I did mention this before about Home Depot's new policy where you can only order 2 items per order, but that's only with gift cards. We are still placing orders with PayPal and credit cards. So the solution here, because the benefit of gift cards is that your virtual assistants, you can give your virtual assistants gift cards and you don't need to give them access to your credit cards. So the thing we're doing now is that the virtual assistants can buy more than 2 items at once if they pay with my credit card, which is on file at Home Depot. So they never have to see the credit card information. It's just on file there. So we have multiple Home Depot accounts. So it works on one account. On the other account, it doesn't work, the credit card for some reason. But we're going through a verification process with Home Depot. If your credit card ever doesn't work on Home Depot, just call them. And usually there's some verification process they go through, and within a day or 2, it will start working again. So with the other account, what we're doing is actually have 3 accounts set up for them. They're placing all the items into 3 different accounts. And then in the morning, I wake up, I log in, and I finish the checkout using PayPal. And then all those orders go through. But that's only after they place as many orders as they can with only 2 items in the cart. So I hope that makes sense. We have found that even though you can order more than 2 items at once if you don't use gift cards, is basically the bottom line there. Let's see. Yes, the event is free. Oh yeah, with the new methods, you are able to use normal suppliers like Walmart and Home Depot. Absolutely. Tina says her sales are increasing. So congratulations, Tina. She's one of my students. Okay, what's up, Mike? Okay. Okay, so let's see another question I had from this week. General Zods asked me to explain the Amazon bestseller rank some more. Doesn't fully understand it. So it'd be easier if I had my normal software because I could show you more. Basically, this is the way it works. So there's different categories on Amazon. It would be better if I share the screen. So let me open up the screen here and I'll share it with you. Okay. Share that screen. All right. And then we'll go to Amazon.com. And actually, I'll search for Amazon bestsellers. Okay. So each different category, there's like this one's toys and games. This one is electronics. This one is camera and photo. Tons of different categories. And then there's subcategories and subcategories and subcategories, right? So let's look at this one, toys and games. right here. So within toys and games, you'll see that the number one item, number one, so sales rank of 1 is this thing right here, whatever that is. Number 2 is this thing, which looks similar. I don't even know what that is. And this is number 3. So this on the left, this round one, is the number one most popular toy and game on Amazon right now. But this updates all the time. I think it updates every hour. So an hour from now, this Lego set could come in and become number 1. So number 1 sells the most, number 1,000,000 sells much less than that. Now, different categories are more powerful, I guess you could say, than others. So the number 1 in toys and games, this one, is selling a lot. This one's selling so many times every single hour. It's selling a lot. But number 1 in like a different category, let's see, one that doesn't do as well. Like industrial and scientific, perhaps, or handmade products. Number 1 in that is not going to sell as often as number 1 in toys and games. So that's what I mean when I say that different categories are more powerful than others. So because different categories are better, what you need to do is search for Amazon Jungle Scout Estimator. And this is a free little software you can use. And this is the way it works. So bestseller rank, put in the number here. So we're going to look at this toy right here. So that's number 1. Put in 1, Amazon Marketplace. Most people, that's going to be United States. Amazon product category. We're going to select toys and games. Now I'll go down to toys and games, click calculate. So that's selling at least 20,000 units a month. But if we switch it to another category, like let's switch it to electronics right here. Click calculate on that one. That one's selling a little bit less each month. And if we choose, let's say, industrial and scientific, that one's selling $13,000 times a month. So still a lot, but certainly not almost 20,000. Let's try watches. Watches is only 8,200 times a month. So that kind of gives you an idea of how different categories are better than others and how kind of the bestseller rank works there. Okay. So as people are asking like, oh, I want to learn more about dropshipping. There's a ton of content here on my YouTube channel. Just search around, go through my videos, look at my most popular ones. Those are going to give you, I mean, I give a lot out here for free. So if you're interested in learning more, start on YouTube. Start just watching what's free out there. You can learn a lot just from that. So let's see some of these other questions I had this week. Let's see. That might have been the last question I had saved up from the week. So Wallstruss is in the chat and says, how do big ticket items like TVs do? So the problem with big electronics like that, first of all, like I said, Walmart will oftentimes cancel those orders and not let you sell them, especially during like Christmas time. But the other problem with them is even if it doesn't do that, what ends up happening is with those items, those have a really set value. So if someone's buying a TV, people generally know how much a television should cost, and they can easily grab the model number and search for it. I think when most people are buying electronics, people do shop around a lot for electronics. When it comes to more generic items like tools or furniture, it doesn't have as much of an inherent value. It's more what value people put on it based on how it looks and the status that they think it's going to bring to them, and what kind of status and what kind of life they want to live. That people ask themselves, am I the type of person that would buy this chair or this chair? And if it's this chair instead of that chair, people will pay extra for this chair as opposed to that one. It depends on the type of people doing the shopping. So that's why those more generic items tend to do better with drop shipping than something like a name brand electronic or a TV or something like that. So Rochelle is saying, where do I get the templates for the customer service? So looks like Rochelle joined the course. So that's inside the course. Let me show you where it is right now. So once you join, when you're inside the course, you have to log in. And here in module 7, customer service, this is it right here. Customer service 101 plus scripts. The scripts are underneath the video about customer service. All the scripts that you need to answer any customer service issues you have on eBay. So that's module 7 for you. All right, great question from Carl. How do you prevent Walmart from canceling orders? So again, for like the 5th time today, there are some items they'll just keep canceling, like those high ticket electronics. But as a new seller, you might find that they start canceling your orders as a newbie. And that's not because you're drop shipping. It's not because you're a reseller. It's because they're afraid of fraud. So what you need to do is call them up. Every time it happens, call them up and continue to use the card. But you can also sprinkle in other methods like paying with PayPal, paying with the Visa checkout, or paying with gift cards just to get the orders through. But keep coming back to using the credit card, and eventually it will stop happening. So as of right now, Daniel, you really need to be using PayPal if you want to shop on eBay. Sorry, if you want to sell on eBay, because it's the way that people do business on eBay. So you need that to work. So Daniel's saying that he can't sell on PayPal or can't use PayPal because he was banned a few years ago. But changes are happening on eBay. eBay is moving away from PayPal. What do you want? Dog's complaining. And when that happens, you should be okay, I guess. So Chicks and Mom's Sale says, how many Amazon accounts are allowed? Each person is allowed to have, I don't know if you mean, selling accounts. Yeah, you said selling accounts. So you're only allowed 1 selling account per person. In most cases, you can ask permission for multiple Amazon selling accounts, but you have to have a good reason. A lot of times it won't be granted. If you want to have multiple selling accounts, then you will have to create a stealth account there. So Dean says, so Dean's asking about income tax questions. So if you're selling on eBay, if you make enough sales, PayPal will send you a 1099. If you make enough sales on Amazon, Amazon will send you one. Okay, so great question from Cleveland Mike. Says, starting from step 1, what course should I buy? Your eBay or Amazon course? So this is always a tough question because the great thing about eBay is that it is just, like I've said, it's just so easy to get started with it. When you're selling on eBay, you can mess up a little more and still get away with it. They're a little more forgiving. And it's just so user-friendly, so beginner-friendly, I would say, eBay dropshipping. Amazon is not as hard as people think. The biggest issue is the money thing, because like I said before, they do hold your money for 2 weeks. So that's a barrier for a lot of people. But there is a ton of potential on Amazon. So many people buying on there. But it's just tougher to keep your account in good health and to make sure that your account stays in good health. If you have no selling experience online before, this is brand new for you, then I would err on the side of saying that you should start with eBay. And if after like a few months you decide it's not for you, then you probably have made enough money anyway to then move on to Amazon. Let's see. Scott says, maybe you should sell your course month to month with updates. Maybe I should have, but that's not what I did. And I have, like I said, I've updated the course 2 times now, 2 major updates, making another update, and that's included for free. And I don't charge month to month on that one. So Wall Straw says, if you're banned from eBay, does that mean for life? So there's 2 types of, so there's suspensions and getting banned. If you're suspended, you can normally get that suspension lifted. You just got to do whatever it is eBay is asking you to do. Usually you have to send in paperwork to them and you can get that suspension lifted. With getting banned, usually that's for life, although not always. A lot of times they'll tell you, well, it's for life, but contact us in a couple years and maybe we can get you back on, sort of thing. But generally, a lot of times it is for life, but it rarely happens. In my experience, I don't know many people that it has happened to. Awesome. Cool. So good credit card to start selling on Amazon. I use the Capital One Spark cash back cards, 2%. Great one that I use. And they raise my limit really fast, really high limit on that one. And even the cost of using it, free for a year. You should look it up because these things always change. But at least as of the last time I looked, it was free for the first year and then $95 a year after that, which is much cheaper than other cards like Amex cards. All right. So people were asking me where I was last week because I do these live streams every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So if you don't want to miss out on these live streams, maybe you're watching this on replay and like, shoot, I had a question for Paul. Really wanted to ask him this. Well, leave your question underneath this video or any of my videos. I'll either answer it right away and or answer it during my next live stream. And if you don't want to miss the live stream, make sure to subscribe to the channel by hitting the subscribe button underneath this video, and also hit the bell notification so that you get a notification every time I go live, so you don't miss out on it. But people were asking me where I was last week because I wasn't here. So I was on vacation, needed to clear my head, get some rest and relaxation before this big update to the course, or this update to the course. But I had a great time, really good time. I'm going to make you guys look at some of my my vacation photos, which I always hate when people make me watch theirs, but I made it really short. So I'm going to show you guys what we did. Okay. So what we did was, you guys still hear me, right? Yep. So we went down to the Florida Keys to Key Largo. We went scuba diving. There we are. We saw some amazing stuff like this sea turtle right here. Let me get rid of that. Sea turtle right there. We saw some sharks. We saw some moray eels. I went with Chad, my husband. I'm already a dive master, but he was going for an advanced certification, but the weather was so terrible the whole week. We got seasick a little bit. So we really only had like one good day of diving. So he didn't quite finish it up, but he did become a master scuba diver, not a dive master, but a master scuba diver. And so that's him getting his certification with the instructor. So congratulations to Chad. And it was a great week. We had a great time. Even after we got rained out, we went to this place to feed these tarpon, which was these huge fish. You'll see one come up right here. I'm not sure where the sound. Oh, there's sounds probably really bad. So there it goes. And then that's the slow-mo of it. So that was pretty fun to do on one of the days with the bad weather. And then we went to Universal Studios up north because we gave up on the weather, and went to Harry Potter World. So it was a lot of fun. We had a good time, and yeah, good chance to clear the mind. And the great thing is I have a lot of virtual assistants working on my business, so stores continue to run. I still did work on vacation a little bit, but definitely not as much as I usually do. Just enough to keep it going, which is always great. That I'm able to do this from anywhere in the world, and I can feel like I can take vacations because I know I can bring my work with me, which sounds counterintuitive. Most people think I'm going away on vacation, don't want to bring my work with me. I completely understand that. But the reality is that a lot of people don't go away on vacation because they can't find a break to do that. Like, I really feel like I couldn't completely get myself cut off from the internet for a week. I really don't think I'd be able to do that. I have too many people relying on me. My virtual assistants have questions every couple of days for my eBay and Amazon stores. My students, you guys are always asking me questions, and I always want to answer them. I want to help you guys out as much as possible. On YouTube, you guys are always asking questions as well. I try to answer every single comment. So I don't think I could be away from the internet entirely for a week, but I can do a lot from my phone even. So it's great that I can travel while doing that, which is pretty awesome. Yes, I did say my husband. Travis says, I went to Universal over Halloween. It was so much fun during the horror nights. Haunted houses were on point. That sounds like a lot of fun. I'm up in New York, obviously, like I said, and nearby in New Jersey, we have Six Flags. I know they do the same thing there for Six Flags. I've always wanted to go. Cool. So the meetup again will be March 3rd. If anyone's interested in that, make sure to click the second link underneath this video. Bobby's asking when the updates are coming. Very soon, definitely by the end of next week, if not the end of this week. So probably by the time you're watching this video, most people, the updates will be out. It's February 19th. So by the end of February, for sure, they're out. And that's it. Thanks so much, everyone, for the questions, for sticking with me through the technical difficulties at the beginning. Like I said, any questions, leave them in the comments section. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Come to the meetup on March 3rd. I can't wait to meet a lot of you there. And I'll see you there, or I'll see you during the next live stream here on the YouTube channel. Good night.